one hand back on the Bledisloe Cup. That's why Justin Marshall is back for his 63rd Test match. He scored 5 times against the Aussies, but you know, he's one of only 4 players in the starting lineup who've actually dotted down against the world champions. That's why history in this part of the world favours the Aussies, but right now you've got to say that the form favours the All Blacks. Let's check out the teams.
Despite some indifferent form this year, Matt Burke retains his spot at fullback. His opposite is Blues utility Mills Muliaina. On the right wing for the Wallabies, Wendell Saylor, one of 3 former rugby league internationals in the starting backline. His matchup with All Black left winger Joe Rokotoko should be a classic. Matt Rogers used to play alongside Saylor for the Kangaroos. Now he's his Wallaby teammate. His opposite, Tana Umanga, also used to be a leaguey. Tonight he becomes just the 20th player to reach 50 Test matches for New Zealand. 26-year-old Elton Flatley moves out to second 5'8". Tonight he marks Aaron Major, who last week demonstrated his immense talent with a brilliant comeback performance against South Africa. On the left wing for Australia is Lofi Takiri. He is the 3rd ex-rugby league international in the team, and tonight makes his run-on debut. His opposite is arguably the world's best winger, try-scoring machine Doug Howlett. The battle of the first 5/8s will, like always, be a huge talking point. Stephen Larkham starting his first Test of the year, while Carlos Spencer has started all 4 Tests for the All Blacks. Wallaby captain George Gregan is the most capped halfback in the history of Test rugby. Tonight he plays his 87th Test. His opposite, Justin Marshall, plays his 63rd, making him the 4th most capped player in New Zealand Test history. To the forwards, and if you want grunt and go forward, both teams supply this, and their number 8s, it's Totai Kefu and Jerry Collins. Another matchup of huge proportions looms on the open side. Both Phil Waugh and Richie McCaw are in excellent form. But the big talking point of the build-up has been George Smith's inclusion on the blind side. His battle with Reuben Thorne, who last week silenced many critics, will be one to watch. To the lock department now, and Daniel Vickerman stands 2 centimetres taller than his opposite, Ali Williams. Partnering his Brumby teammate in the second row is 29-year-old David Giffen up against 24-year-old Chris Jack. To the front row, and 2 of the oldest players on the field tonight go head-to-head. It's 31-year-old Patricio Noriega up against 32-year-old Dave Hewitt. Brendan Cannon's forward hooker keeps one-time Test regular Jeremy Paul out of the team altogether, while his opposite, the dynamic Kevin Maalamu, continues to impress with his work around the park. And at loosehead for the Wallabies, it's 28-year-old Bill Young. Tonight he packs down against 25-year-old workhorse Greg Somerville. A quick look at the reserves, and for the Wallabies, look out for the likes of Owen Finnegan and Chris Latham to make an impact in the second half. While for the All Blacks, expect to see Case Muse, Brad Thorne and Marty Holler all introduced at some stage of the match.
Well, as you can see, the All Blacks are behind me warming up for tonight's big game. It is going to be a huge challenge trying to win that Bledisloe Cup tonight. 5 players will be playing against the Australians for the first time. And during the week, I dug up some rather interesting stats of the starting lineup. Carlos Spencer is the only guy who has a better winning record than a losing one against the Aussies. He's 3-2. Other guys, Marshall, McCaw, Major and Hewitt are all even. And check that out. Jack, Howlett, Thorne, Somerville and Tana Umanga playing his 50th Test tonight are all on the wrong side of the ledger, and of course Umanga with only 3 wins and 5 losses. So that's why for Reuben Thorne and the boys tonight, forget about history, this is a brand new start.
In tonight's forward player profile, we catch up with the All Black captain, Reuben Thorne. He plays his 32nd Test for the All Blacks after making his debut back in 1999. During this year's Super 12, Reuben was one of only 4 players to start every game for the Crusaders, and he was the only forward to do so. Last week, he silenced many of his critics with an outstanding performance against the Springboks.
Reuben Thorne knocked it out of his hands. What a fantastic tackle from the All Black captain.
The biggest satisfaction for me is seeing the team perform well, and it's the same within the group. You know, when we get things going, it gets pretty exciting. So that's what we try to do, and when it happens, it's great. You've got to play your natural game, really. That's why the selectors pick you. Be yourself and play your own game. If conditions allow it, I love getting out there and getting the ball, but otherwise you've got to get in there and try and work and get that position.
If I was picking any side, he'd be in my side. His work rate is phenomenal. He's an excellent leader.
Most of my rugby has been played with him, and you know, I couldn't think of anyone better to be in the loose forward trio with us. And you know, it's just the way we've decided, you know, way we play it, both with the Crusaders, the way we've played it this year, and this team. You know, perhaps the 7 and 8 are the guys that have been designated to get ball in hand, while the number 6 has been the guy who pretty much cleans up and does all the rest of the work.
Yeah, no, I'm very much a team man, you know. That's one thing I try to be is get involved as much as I can and be part of the team and create a real bond within the side.
Joining us on the sideline tonight on 3 Sport is AJ Wetton, former All Black. You're quietly confident, AJ, or what?
Well, I guess we'll know after 10 minutes, but let's hope we're on the right track tonight.
OK, 2 open side flankers for the Australians. What do you think of that move by Eddie Jones?
Well, it could be one of a great gamble or one of desperation. In today's game, I'd prefer to have a loose forward that's a tight one and an open side due to some injuries and maybe lack of form. I think he's gone for this, but I don't think it'll pan out well for him tonight.
The referee is Englishman Tony Spreadbury. I know that Eddie Jones has been talking about putting lots of pressure on the tackler rolling away from the breakdown. Surely if you're going to play 2 open sides, those sort of mind games would favour guys trying to get their hands on the pill like the Aussies.
Well, I think that's just some gamemanship from Eddie Jones. He's a wily campaigner. The Spreadbury did referee the international between Ireland and New Zealand last year, did a good job. He played the advantage. I think it's just gamemanship from the Aussies, trying to get one up before the kick-off. OK, we all know it starts up front. What about the battle at the backs? Gregan, Marshall, what do you expect from the half-backs? Oh, great match-up there. I think Marshall has come in for his experience tonight. I think Mitchell's given him a game plan to do that physical, confrontational, aggressive play, which he does so well. Pick up and go, lay that foundation and get some good, quick, clean ball out wide to our exciting backs.
And, of course, there's so many fireworks out wide, but that all depends on the running game of Larkham v Spencer and, I suppose, tonight, Spencer with the goal kicking. Well, we've got to wait and see what he does with the win tonight, but I feel 2 very, very clever players, very exceptional in their positions, and they play the same game. They like to run, put the players into gaps, and I think we're going to see a lot of that tonight. OK, AJ Wetton, let's hope he will be smiling later on tonight on the sideline. And let's hope the All Blacks can do what they did and come up with another blockbuster like they did last week.
Decide the fate of the Bledisloe Cup. What a player, John Eales.
Back it comes for Gregan, across to Larkham. Larkham turning it back to Tata.
He's got it.
Box starts. The Wallabies have done it again.
Can the All Blacks break their recent Australian hoodoo and win an Aussie tonight? 3 out of the last 11 since '98. That's not flash. And, of course, it features those 3 heartbreakers, the Burke test, the Kepu test and the Eales test. I can tell you we're bathing in a sea of green and yellow at the moment here at Telstra Stadium. The atmosphere is really starting to build for the first big battle of the Bledisloe Cup. Let's go upstairs to Hamish Mackay, our commentators, Bull Allen and Ian Kirkpatrick. And I suppose tonight, guys, it's all psychological for the All Blacks. The last 10 minutes and the top 10%.
It's great to be back here at the old Olympic Stadium. Magnificent venue it is too, and a great commentary position we have. And our commentary team joining me, as always, Mark the Bull Allen. And Bull, well, that old chestnut's been around this week in the media that Australia happened to be weak in the tight 5. What do you reckon?
Well, I don't think they're the strongest tight 5 in the world, but I don't think I'd call them weak. I mean, collectively, they've got 128 tests amongst them. Noriega and Giffen have played over 40 tests each. But I think the All Blacks, collectively, are a better unit, and they just need to carry on where they left off last week against South Africa. Fantastic effort there in set pieces. Line-outs were very strong. The scrum got stronger as the game went on. So if we can continue along that vein, I think we'll do very well tonight.
So you're feeling confident?
I am confident. Why shouldn't we be after the fine effort that they put up against South Africa last week?
Yeah, some great tries there were last week against South Africa. Now, a man who knows all about scoring tries against the Wallabies is the All Black record holder, Ian Kirkpatrick. 8 tries against the Wallabies. Kirky, do you remember any of those tries?
A long time ago, Hamish, but I guess coming on as a replacement at the SCG in 1968, probably in scoring 3 tries, 3 lucky ones I might add, just Johnny on the spot. And but really at the end of the day, I would just hope that record goes tonight by someone who may again score a hat-trick or score a couple anyway and break that record and beat the Aussies.
To right now, just thinking about what Eddie Jones has done, he's gone with 2 open side flankers. What do you make of that?
Yeah, Warren Smith, I think it's not a bad idea. I mean, they're very skilled guys at the breakdown, which gives you another added advantage at the breakdown. I mean, and I guess at the end of the day, the best guy at the breakdown is the closest guy. So, I mean, you've got 2 specialists at doing it, so I think it's a good idea.
Right, our Bulls confident. What about you?
I'm quietly confident. If they start like they finished against the Springboks last week, then I'll be really confident. But at the moment, I'm just quietly confident.
OK, quietly confident. Ian Kirkpatrick, who scored 3 tries at the SCG back in 1968. I reckon maybe Joe Rokothoko for 3 tonight.
Thanks, Hamish. Not far away from kick-off now here at Telstra Stadium. As you can see, the All Blacks just finishing their warm-up. And not far away from your chance to watch and win with Ford. Get yourself behind the wheel of a flying Falcon. It's the Ford XR6.
100 years ago, Ford Motor Company produced their first vehicle, and New Zealand produced our first All Blacks test team. Today, 3 and Ford New Zealand invite you to join the Centennial celebrations by giving away the unique All Black Centennial XR6 Ford Falcon. Help us find New Zealand's greatest All Black moment. Vote 1 for the 1924 Invincible side. 2, the 1956 All Blacks versus Springboks. 3, the 1987 World Cup victory. Or 4, the 1996 series victory in South Africa. Text 3334 or phone 0900 33333 with your answer to enter the draw. Text costs 99 cents. As thanks for your help, you'll go in the draw to take a child to a day in camp with the All Blacks. 2 winners announced each All Blacks test match on 3. And we'll also put you in the grand prize draw to win the All Blacks Centennial XR6 Ford Falcon. Part of New Zealand for 100 years. Join the celebration.
Right, congratulations to 2 lucky winners. We've got Mike Henry from Auckland and Hamish Terry from Palmerston North. You've won the All Blacks Training Day experience, the right to take a kid along to an All Black training session. And that's a rare experience these days, because I can tell you that you never get to see them, because John Mitchell is so paranoid about spies videoing the sessions, learning the sequence and shutting them down. They're virtually closed. So that will be a rare experience. Let's hope the kids have a great day out. And don't forget, all the entries go into the draw for the grand prize, the Ford Centenary XR6. We'll announce the lucky winner at Eden Park, August 16, and that's the centenary test match between the All Blacks and the Wallabies. That's the return battle for the Bledisloe Cup. So that's why the ABs just have to win tonight. Otherwise, we're simply playing for the Tri-Nations. Look, New Zealand, I know you're nervous. I know you're quietly confident, hoping for another big win for the boys in black. Stay with us. We'll be back with kickoff next on 3 Sport, free for all.
Stadium way out west in Sydney at Homebush Bay. The All Blacks and the Wallabies, the Bledisloe Cup and the Tri-Nations, as Reuben Thorne leads out the troops. Last week 52-16 over the old foe in Pretoria. Can the All Blacks continue their marvellous work from that game? Reuben Thorne certainly stepped his own personal game up a notch. Building on a capacity crowd here. Tanarumaga, 50th Test match. Unlike some players in the past, he doesn't run out at the front. He's at the back. The All Black pack. Dave Hewitt, who got that lucky break coming back into the side for Carl Hoff last week, keeps the #1 loose head prop position. Chris Jack had a huge game against South Africa, back to his very best. We will need more of that tonight. Justin Marshall returns to the starting 15. After injuring himself in the first test of the season against England. 4th most capped player now in All Black Test history, Justin Marshall. Joe Rokothoko has been, in a word, exciting. 7 tries in 4 test matches. Carlos Spencer will have the kicking duties tonight. 52% strike rate so far. More will be expected in this cauldron. On the reserve bench, Mark Hamilton, of course, came into the squad for Anton Oliver, Case Muse, Brad Thorne. Last time Brad Thorne played at this ground was, I think, a game perhaps for the Broncos back in his league days. Justin Marshall, tight-knit All Black group. Mark the Bull Allen is in the 3-sport commentary team. These guys look ready for it, Bull.
They certainly do. I mean, they've got to be confident after their effort against South Africa last week, but it's so important that the ABs, the All Blacks, start well. The Australians are on a 2-match losing streak, so if we can get into them early, we can rock their confidence.
Australia have not lost 3 tests for something like 8 years. This build-up has been overshadowed somewhat by talk of the World Cup winning bonus. That gets put to the side now for 80 minutes. And George Gregan, the Brumby, Stephen Larkham, Bill Young, Cannon, Noriega, the general, Kefu, last test on home soil, Giffen and Vickerman, Matt Burke, Elton Flatley at second, 5'8", George Gregan, stand by for the roar of this Sydney crowd. Coming off a loss to the Springboks, where they scored 3 tries to 2. Also in the 3-sport commentary team for this one, the man who scored the most tries ever against the Wallabies for the All Blacks, Ian Kirkpatrick. And Kirky, this Wallabies side, when you have a look at them, I mean, look at this pack here. It's a good, experienced pack. They've got strong players all over the park.
Well, they certainly have. They've got guys who have been there and done that. All they have to do is click and start well. As Bull said, do those set pieces well. They could be problems to the All Blacks, because this Aussie side is a good side on paper. They haven't really fronted up so far in the last couple of games in particular. But it's there to happen, and if the All Blacks let them do it, they could be dangerous.
Could be dangerous indeed, and when you've got a team that includes players like Wendell Saylor, Matt Rogers, Loti Takiri, and not to mention Larkham and Gregan, Matt Burke, who's under a bit of pressure too after his performance against South Africa, but he holds on to the number 15 jersey, keeping Chris Latham in the reserve. Stephen Larkham, arguably one of the most gifted players to ever wear the number 10 jersey in international rugby. Nathan Sharp, the big Reds lock on the bench there. Owen Finnegan, he will be an impact player. Steve Kefu and Latham waiting there. Yes, Brad Thorne was here in the 2000 NRL Grand Final for the Broncos against the Sydney City Roosters. Now he is an All Black reserve. National anthems here at the old Olympic Park, the Telstra Stadium. Quick check on conditions. Sideline tonight, AJ Wetton.
Yeah, great to be down here, Hamish. The atmosphere is electric, as you can imagine. Bit of a strong southwesterly coming across the ground tonight. And we can see it, the flags at the top of the goalpost. The crowd are getting anticipated for this great game. The ground conditions are firm. All the markings for a classic encounter this evening.
Thanks, AJ. AJ Wetton, former All Black loose forward, World Cup winning loose forward. Sideline tonight for 3 Sport in Sydney, way out west at Homebush. We love it. Getting set for an absolute cracker. The Bledisloe Cup. Carlos Spencer needs to hurry. The All Blacks fired up for this one. There's Totai Kepu, who will play his last test match on home soil. Been a marvellous servant of Wallaby rugby. As the sounds of Waltzing Matilda ring across this marvellous stadium. Capacity crowd in for this one. $80,000 thousand. Sea of yellow, a sea of yellow and green. A complement of Kiwis in the crowd too, no doubt. Referee for this one, Mr. Tony Spretbury from England. Refereed when the All Blacks beat Ireland at Lansdowne Road back in 1997. "80 minutes from now, will there be a few waltzing Matildas around Sydney?"
Okay, lads. Thank you. Stay behind, please.
We are underway. Lotte de Kiri taps it down and it's a touch. Referee Spretbury says knock forward.
Good idea trying to use Takiri, trying to catch the All Blacks on the hop. He's got a bit of height, but it didn't pay dividends on that occasion for them. This is an area the All Blacks, I'd suggest, will really try and turn up the screws on the Australian scrum. Performed so well, didn't they, last week against South Africa, but they need to take it to another level tonight.
We talked about it, though. It's been the old chestnut that's popped up, particularly from the New Zealand media again, that the Wallabies will be weak in the tight 5. Look at that slight advantage on the old Wedderburn's for the All Blacks by 4 kilos. And just losing it forward there, so scrum ball now for the Wallabies. Once again, Bull Allen, let's have a look at this meeting of the front row committees.
You just see Justin Marshall there in the replay, just losing control of the ball. But Bill Young against Somerville on this side. And Somerville had a very strong game last week, scrummaged very well. Bill Young's an interesting character. Technically, he's not that sound, but he's an awkward type of character to prop against. He looks a bit twisted and buckled at times, but not very often you see him backpedaling too far. He's a wiry sort of a character.
He certainly made a good name for himself with the ACT Brumbies. Bill Young, based out of Sydney. And clearly on that occasion, it was the tight end Somerville who went down.
Well, that's one each way now.
And this one you would think is kickable.
Do you really think they mean to do that, Bull, in the case of Somerville that time? I mean, is it just the way they hit as to why they go down like that? Should have don't mean to go down.
Well, when you look at the front row, the ideal position for the props to be in is their shoulders above their hips, and you can just see that when Bill Young went in there, his shoulders are actually below his hips, so he's always going to be inclined to go to the deck, just the way the guy props. But yeah, I'm sure that Somerville didn't intentionally take that down, particularly in this position of the field, because we know what a good effective kicker Matt Burke is.
Has he got the wind behind him, AJ Wetton?
No, the wind's coming across the field, actually, Kirky. He's going to have a bit of a cross breeze here, but he does have the distance. We know he's a big punter of the ball, so let's just see what happens.
He's given it a good nudge indeed, Burke, but he's pushed it to the left. So an early miss for Matt Burke. And a drop out from the 22. Chris Latham there. A lot of debate about the selection by Eddie Jones of Burke ahead of Chris Latham, who we know is a very good attacking fullback. You're with 3 Sport, free for all.
It's one area the Wallabies are very strong too, Hamish. They've got a very strong bench and guys that can be injected into the game at any time that would really, you know, that really can add some value.
The All Blacks victory on this ground 3 years ago. Their only win in Sydney in the last 8 years. Takiri. Taken on the tackle by McCaw. Stephen Larkham. Wendell Saylor. Looking to get on the outside of Rakathoko. Can't do so. Here's the ball for Gregan. Larkham again very flat. Kefu. So he might have lost it forward in there. The All Blacks blow in on this one. Turnover ball. Marshall can see it. Goes on the short side with numbers here. Rakathoko. Joe Rakathoko gets those legs pumping. 5 metres out. Marshall again. Here's McCaw. Taken down on the tackle by Phil Waugh. Major. Spencer turns it back into Taurumanga. The pass to nobody.
Oh, if they just only managed to get it out right. Just that one pass away from getting that probably 2-on-1 overlap.
Joe Rakathoko shows some great strength, went right through Wendell Saylor. Jerry Collins, fantastic support on the inside, but it just broke down a bit later here. Umanga looking to bust through, throws a speculator that goes to no one, and that's where it all broke down. And Justin Marshall, the little knock on as he tried to get hold of the ball on the deck. But a pretty promising start.
Elton Flatley getting some attention there after that tackle on Umanga. Tana Umanga, 50th Test match, hasn't had a great season though by his high standards.
It was a good run by Justin Marshall from that initial maul, wasn't it? And he just got that half gap and slipped Joe Rakathoko away.
Solid scrum from the Wallabies. Screws for Kefu, back for Gregan. And Rogers gets the kick away.
Pretty good kick under pressure there too. Carlos Spencer put a bit of pressure on him. But he manages to find 30-40 metres, so good kick from him.
Rogers gives the old pigskin a good pounding.
Well, it's interesting to have 3 ex-Kangaroo League players in the Wallaby backline tonight. And, of course, we've got our own man on the bench.
Exactly, another Kangaroo, and he happens to be in the All Black reserves.
So what an unusual situation for both teams, I would suggest.
First line out.
6th Test match for Kevin Maialamu. Didn't appear to go the 5 metres, but Spreadbury says play on. This is Collins into the tackle of George Smith. Midway 22 and halfway, Wallaby territory. More ball for Marshall. Off to Somerville. Aerial attack this time, and Howlett gives chase on Takiri and Burke. Picked up by Wendell Saylor.
Wait, stay there. Wait, watch your feet. Wait.
Gregan. Larkham. And it's a touch.
I think the Wallabies are a little bit lucky there. Saylor actually ran into Matt Burke, who was in an offside position. So, you know, the referee, I think, could have called that, but, I mean, that's the way it goes.
Yeah,
but good first-up line-out from the All Blacks. Chris Jack taking it well, and that's, you know, we just need to carry on from where we left off against South Africa. Secure our own ball in our own line-outs.
And it was a very good go forward by Jerry Collins. like he's done all year so well.
Already he's injected himself into the game. He's had a couple of strong charges right amongst the action.
Great take, Jack. Umaga. Flatly again as the tackler. Spencer. Kevi Maalamu. Aaron Major, what a return he made for the All Blacks starting 15 last weekend against the South Africa. Turnover ball here. Smith, Larkham. Good run. Nice bust by Matt Rogers. Rogers looking for support. Has it from Wendell Sailor. Sailor has support on the inside from Flatley. Now Flatley looks for more support. Gets it from Cannon. Taken down by Aaron Major. 10 metres out. Try time coming up here if they shift it. Kefu. Matt Burke will score. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile. Silly, silly talk out of New Zealand this week about a Wallaby side who would be easy beats. Ridiculous. And straight away they prove why that is ridiculous.
Some excellent lead-up work. Rogers, I don't know what happened here. Oh, Justin Marshall just falls off the tackle, and about 4 All Black defenders were taken out of the loop there. Beautiful bust from him. And this is a finishing part of the play. They get it wide, and Burke does the rest. Goes over in the tackle of Collins. But wonderful work from the Wallabies. Great continuity, great backup and support play from them. Well, they did it well, didn't they, Kirky?
They sure did, but it all went back to Aaron Major, who tried that to get that half break, lacked support, turnover ball, and Australia crucified the All Blacks. That was a good try. And as you said, Bull, Matt Rogers just slipping past Justin Marshall. Give that initial break.
The key thing there was, Kirky, as he slipped through, it seemed to take out 4 All Black defenders. There just seemed to be a bit of miscommunication.
Burke's missed the conversion. And the thing, though, Bull, that impressed me, though, was the support play and the patience of the Wallabies.
You're dead right, because in situations like that, players tend to panic and look for an early pass, but they were so patient, weren't they? Or they waited for their support players. At one stage, it looked like Wendell Sailor had blown it. He had men on support. But, I mean, they just had options left, right and centre, didn't they?
You give Rogers a break, and he's so quick. He just makes those yards so quick, and he just puts them straight on the offensive straight away.
How are you feeling down sideline, AJ?
Well, disappointing there, Bull, but Kirky, you're right on the mark there. Aaron Major's on his own, 2 very fast, open loosies. They ripped the ball off him, and it was history from there.
So the Wallabies let it bounce into touch from the restart. Cannon will have the throw to the line-out. He was involved in that try-scoring move.
That's fine. Stay there. Wait.
Taken by Kefu coming up towards the front. This is Larkham. Well, it's an experiment we're going to keep a close eye on in this game. The 2 open side flankers, Waugh and Smith.
He's cool under pressure, Larkham, isn't he? Hasn't played much of late. It's just that natural ability, just slipping straight back into it.
Well, he had that elbow injury, of course, and he hasn't played much over the last 2 months.
Well, he really has been a commanding figure in world rugby over the years. 57th Test match for Stephen Larkham.
He's just such a competitive character. He loves to win.
Knocked forward by the All Blacks there. Ball here for Larkham. And he loves that cutout pass wide to Rogers. Flatley. Not releasing.
Richie McCaw doing some excellent work in there. Got to the breakdown quickly, stayed on his feet, trying to secure the ball. Excellent work from the All Black open side.
So Carlos Spencer here as we have a look at the forward replay. Ali Williams
just losing control of it in the air. Waugh secures it for the Wallabies.
Not a lot of pressure on Ali Williams either, really. The ball just went through his fingertips and slightly forward at the same time.
An interesting area, too, that we need to keep an eye on is line-outs, because Kefu, not renowned as a jumper, quite a solid number 8. So we need to put a bit of pressure on him at line-out time.
Yeah, Bull, it's interesting to note that both the times Australia have looked in danger of creating havoc for the All Blacks is mistakes from the All Blacks. No pressure on Ali Williams in the line out. He secured it, but he lost it on his way down. And, of course, Major taking up his own and getting isolated. So the Australians very good at dominating at those mistakes the All Blacks are creating.
Carlos Spencer under the spotlight with his goal kicking. This one pretty much out in front. And it will have the legs, it does. Penalty to Spencer. The Wallabies lead by 5 points to 3. Five points to 3. The Wallabies lead the All Blacks after that penalty by Carlos Spencer, and that'll be good for his confidence. Collins into the tackle of Larkham. Support for Collins from Tanarumaga, and Major getting involved there. Marshall looking for it, looking to dig it out. Takiri, Loti Takiri.
Watch your feet, leave it. Wait, hey, wait.
Great tackle from Greg Somerville there on Takiri.
Flatley, Kefu. Man who broke our hearts here 2 years ago with that late try. This is George Smith on the blind side. Strong, stays on his feet now. He goes to the deck. Back here. Regan through Larkham. Bit of a banana bender this one. Down towards Mills Muliaina. Into the tackle of Burke. Dave Hewitt is the All Black #1, the loose head prop. Spencer gets the big towering punt away, and Larkham, brilliant fielding from Larkham. He might get a call up to the other code. That was like Martin Snetton.
Just wonderful commitment, wasn't it?
Beautiful to watch. He was never going to miss it, did he? He just totally committed. Back to Flatley. Once again, they pepper it down towards Muliaina, who loves to attack from that sort of situation.
He doesn't kick unless he really has to, does he?
Beautiful setup from him too. Just placed the ball very well.
Maialamu. Ward tries to go in there and scavenge it off him. Chris Jack had a better game last week against the Springboks. Collins again in close quarter exchanges. Spencer, there's that tactic again. They're really pumping it down the wing of Takiri. Burke's safe on this one, though, inside the 22. He had all day and night. Not a great kick. It's a little bit too far from Spencer.
There's been a couple of kicks now, Hamish. They just, as you say, they're going too far, and we're not able to get our chasers to put pressure on the Wallabies. So we've got to make the kicks a bit shorter so we can get men under the ball.
You're dead right, Bull. We're good chasers when the ball's in the air. Give our wingers enough time to compete.
Brilliant kick down the line, but in the end, Marshall does marvellously well to keep it in play, and Spencer brings it out towards the 22. And he will eventually get it into touch.
Well, that was excellent play from Marshall. We could have been having a line out 10 metres out from our own line, but this clever bit of play from him, keeping it in, just takes a lot of pressure off the All Blacks. Excellent work from Justin Marshall.
Yeah, it could have been a line out 40 metres further down the park, Paul.
Could have been under all sorts of pressure.
I think those kicks of Carlos, as they're just trying to turn those Aussies backwards behind that advantage line, as Bull mentioned, just going too far.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of pushing here in the line out, a bit of argy-bargy.
So Daniel Vickerman getting a speaking to.
Very silly. Go steady. Okay. Okay.
Come back for the penalty.
Oh yeah, it is big guys. Okay, thank you. Any other issues? All right. Scrum will go right now.
Interesting, they're throwing a lot of ball to Todai Kefu at #2, putting the big jumpers down the back.
Wasn't subtle enough.
All Blacks taking the option of going for the line here. Maialamu. Tap down the front to High Rev Kev. Spencer, Major, Spencer on the double around. Howlett, Doug Howlett. Rogers sticks to him like glue. Collins, Spencer, flat for Ali Williams. Spencer again, numbers here. Pop pass across to Maalamu for the corner and driven into touch, but there was a forward pass.
There's been a lot of talk, Hamish, about the two open side flankers Aussie have employed in this game, but the All Blacks at the clean out area at the ruck are doing a splendid job at the moment. First two guys are getting there and cleaning out. He just a little forward pass there. Kevin Maalamu, good low body position, but just ran out of space really.
Defensive line out, and that is just working with ridiculous ease, that Kefu at number 2 option, and they work it forward 3 or 4 metres. And Larkham will have 3 or 4 All Blacks breathing down his throat, but he gets a good clearing kick away. An excellent, classy clearing kick.
Well, we need to counter that. I mean, they're doing it time after time, the line out, using Kefu, so we need to put a man on him and get him up and compete in the air.
Pretty simple, wouldn't you think, Paul?
Well, they need to work it out quickly because, as you say, it's with ridiculous ease at the moment.
Well, the thing is, he's not going that high either, really.
Off you go, mate. Stay there, then. Bill, take him over.
Referee Spritbury pretty pedantic at the lineouts here, making sure the gaps are in place. The All Blacks go downtown. Doesn't find the jumper as was hoped. They've lost this one. Turnover ball. Never really the All Blacks in the first place, I guess, but the Wallabies have it. Here's Rogers. Rogers in a little bit of space. Puts a kick in behind for Saylor to give chase. Down on Muliaina. Beats the first line of defence, then runs into the tackle of Gregan and Smith.
Excellent play there, though, Hamish. He ran into the centre of the field where his support was.
Spencer, some thumping defence on him. Does well, though, to retain possession. Marshall's lost at 4, but play on, says Tony Spritbury. Jack Umaga, lovely pop pass. Doug Howlett takes it on the inside from Muliaina. Maalamu.
Great run from the hooker.
What a revelation he has been. Numbers to the right as they look to shift it. Flat football, though. Spencer turning it back inside. Umaga well looked after.
Good thing the referee stopped that one. Full war once again getting there very quickly. You cannot afford to get isolated against this Wallaby team. Great run, Dougie Howlett. Look at this in the replay. He made huge metres there and great vision, Maalamu on the inside. But, oh, Brendan Cannon, great spot tackle. And look at this. Look at War in there just trying to sniffle in on that ball.
Well, the All Blacks got to be aware of those two number 7s lurking around at the end. They've been very effective so far, haven't they? Smith and War.
It is a plan that is working so far for the Wallabies. Eddie Jones playing the 2 open sides. Matt Rogers set up that first try with a beautiful break.
When we've got players with the ball in hand, we need to run where the supporters, where we've got players, because if you get isolated, we've seen it, we just about saw it there, we've seen it on another occasion. You know, War and Smith, they'll get that ball. So the key for the All Blacks is don't get isolated when we've got possession.
Just go back to that.
Off we go, please. Thank you. Yep. Wait for me. Don't do anything. Wait. Hold. Let that. Thank you. Don't let. Give them shoulders to boys.
Still having problems at scrum time. Collapsing. Still feeling each other out. That's a better All Black scrum.
Muliaina. Rogers comes across and thumps him into touch. Let's have another look at one of these lineouts just to see whether they go with the simple option of Kefu at 2.
Space.
Tagari and Rogers, the 2 former league internationals.
We've won this one. Great work from the All Blacks.
Spencer to Major. Spencer on the double around. Rokafoko on the outside. Joe Rokafoko. He sets his own spinnaker on Saylor and goes in the corner.
Number 8 for the year, Joe Rokathoko. But it all started the line-out. We won the ball against the Aussie throw, and we give it width straight away. Major doing a splendid job. Spencer doubles around, sees Rokathoko, who leaves Sailor sprawling on the deck.
Oh, Spencer, I love this little pirouette here.
Look at Spencer.
Beautiful.
He just doubles around. Brilliant play from Spencer. And Joe Rokathoko does what he does best. Goes in the corner.
Here, Kirkpatrick, you just saw Sailor hesitate.
He just stood him up enough just to get round him. I actually thought that Sailor was going to nail Rokathoko there because he could see what was going to happen, but he just stood him up and just made him hesitate that much. But he's a great finisher, this guy, isn't he? Like he did against South Africa.
We just did something to the Wallabies that they've been doing to us for years. We took a ball in the line off their throw. Wonderful stuff from the All Black line out.
There was a deflection from the front.
Yeah, put that one down, Kirky. Put that one down to Jack. We're talking about competing in the line out. He took his opportunity. We didn't fall for it. He started it, but you've got to give a big plus mark to Major. He made that initial break.
Conversion attempt is wide. 8 points to 5. The All Blacks lead the Wallabies. Lovely try to Joe Rokathoko. As Paul mentioned, his 8th try for the All Blacks. Just his 5th test match tonight.
Not a bad strike rate, Hamish.
Pretty very impressive. I can think of other words in place of very to describe it.
Leave it in the air. Go back.
Jack takes it.
That's fine. That's a ball. Leave his legs, please. Go back.
Mauling play here. Nobody really quite sure who's in control of it. But the All Blacks now seem to have it through Dave Hewitt. He goes to the deck. Spencer. Again, he bombs away. Again, Burke has plenty of time, though. Spencer waits back inside his 22. Has support from Muliaina. Rokathoko dropping back. Muliaina looking for the right wing touchline. And he finds it.
It's not a bad kick from centre field. First time he's kicked tonight.
Well, certainly John Mitchell and Robbie Dean seem to have a faith in Mills Muliaina.
Well, he takes it up so well, doesn't he? Like he did against South Africa, like he's done all year in Super 12.
Once again, Kefu wins at the front. Cannon, though, does well to regather that one and take it in back for Larkham. His time to get it away. Pressure on Muliaina this time coming through. Sailor takes him in the air.
Highly illegal, of course. You can't take a player while he is in the air trying to retrieve the ball.
He's gone for his pocket. Spreadbury's gone for his pocket. Yellow card.
Muliaina landing right on his shoulder. That is so dangerous.
I think Wendell thought he was back in league, I think, initially, and then realised what he had done.
Well, that's a good call from the referee.
I think half the stadium agrees with you too. A lot of Kiwis behind me, they agree with the referee on that one.
Well, he wasn't very discreet, Wendell Sailor, on that occasion. Took him early.
Right now, let's have a look at the early work of halfback Justin Marshall, match analyst Frank Bunce.
Justin Marshall, George Gregan, always a great battle. Mixed bag for Justin Marshall as we see a fumble here. Minutes later, makes up for it with a great break. Gets his pass away and good ground made. Unfortunately, misses the tackle here on Matt Rogers. But we see all the composure and experience that 63 test matches brings. George Gregan, on the other hand, Mr. Reliable, hasn't put a foot wrong, served his outsides, cleared quickly, and you'd have to say he's winning the battle at the moment.
So Muliaina still getting some attention there. Next start for the match for halfback Justin Marshall, whereas this guy, he's looked pretty impressive. But he gets up a little bit gingerly. Took a real crack on the shoulder as he hit the deck after that illegal tackle from Wendell Sailor.
But isn't he doing a wonderful job at fullback? His commitment to the ball in there on that occasion couldn't be questioned.
25 minutes gone, close to 8-5. The All Blacks lead the Wallabies. Eddie Jones up there.
Never gives too much away, does he, when he's on the sideline?
Up there, with, of course, with his assistant coach, his old Randwick teammate, Glenn Ella. One of the famous Ella brothers trio. Larkin gets that one away, and again. Well, I take it that must have been against the throw again.
It was. Yes, against our throw, though, unfortunately.
Exactly.
But we get another chance here.
I just feel we've got to have a bit more variation. We've only used Ali Williams once. Getting a wee bit predictable in the front of the line out.
Again, they take one off the All Black throw. That's 2 in a row. Larkham. Howlett inside is 22, only about 10 metres from the try line. Muliaina.
Well, the All Blacks have got to sort this line-out problem out quickly because it's really just not good enough.
Well, clearly, Ian Kirkpatrick, the Wallabies are getting their own ball too easily, and they're starting to pluck a few of ours now. Three-sport, free-for-all. The old Olympic Stadium.
Look for Kefu here, Hamish. He's standing out in midfield from the short line out. Look for him to bust it up the centre.
Tap down, Bill Young comes through and claims it for the Wallabies. Smith plays halfback, Acosta Gregan. Here's War. Wallabies thrust Richie McCaw out of the way. Larkham, nice cross kick here as Burke comes through and gives chase. Lost ball, getting back there, Kevin Mayalamu. Penalty against the All Blacks. Gregan thinks about the quick one.
Well, the referee's dead right. I think Kevin Mayalamu just in desperation took that. He knew straight away he was offside.
Well, they go for the line out the wall. Well, Matt Burke is going to have the penalty shot. They'll take the 3 on offer.
The problem started there, guys, though. Miscommunication between Muliaina and Dougie Howlett. I don't know, it's always the player who's coming forward to the ball. It's his responsibility to take it. So just, obviously, one wasn't calling loud enough and the other didn't hear. So just, that's where it broke down.
Well, look at this spot here. I feel deja vu. There's a tingle going up the spine of Matt Burke kicking a penalty somewhere about here. Was it not about 12 months ago?
Interesting to note, though, Hamish, the 2 or 3 times that the Wallabies have come in and looked dangerous in the All Blacks' half has been due to the mistakes that they've created themselves. A lost ball in a line-out, a turnover in ruck situation, and now, as Bull said, miscommunication and taking that ball from a high one from Larkham.
In comes Burke, turns it in nicely, gets the 3 points, locks it all up. 8 apiece. Matt Burke becomes the second highest point scorer in All Black Wallaby history. Andrew Mertens, of course, the top point scorer, sitting on 199. Under the current regime, unlikely to beat that. Burke passing Grant Fox as the second highest scorer. Kefu.
He has. Stay back, leave it, mate.
Larkham under a bit of pressure, but he shows his class, goes through Stephen Larkham. Back for Flatley. Lunaga almost getting his fingertips to it. Huge putt.
Well, fantastic composure under all sorts of pressure. Look at this. Steps inside Thorne. Fends off another All Black defender, takes it up to the 22. Just backs himself every time, doesn't he?
They say he's fragile.
Oh, don't think so.
Right.
And Flatley finishes off with a great kick.
Jack lost it. Kicked through by Gregan. And
That was untidy stuff, but it should never happen. But
that should
All Blacks that time, it should have been just money ball.
That should be so simple, Kirky. Chris Jack is standing opposite Kefu. What a mismatch. He must be 6 inches in it. So that should be bread and butter ball. Don't know what the Wallabies are trying to achieve having Kefu against Jack, but they've obviously got something up their sleeve. What do you think the idea of that is, AJ?
Well, maybe they're thinking leave the big men out there. I'm not sure. It's certainly working, though. They've been very competitive in that area.
Flatley up and over the advantage line. Nicely worked. Back for Larkham. He put pressure on Muliaina. Does brilliantly well. Well, I don't think there was anything wrong with that. An All Black has had a rush of hot blood. As you just think.
There's nothing wrong with going and trying to look after your mates, but I'd say that was pretty legal.
Was he taken out before he hit the ground?
It was marginally.
Well,
yeah, watch this.
Yeah, it's pretty close, isn't it? Yeah,
there he is. He's still in the air.
Well, he is. You're dead right,
It's the same as what Wendell Saylor did. Let's face it.
He's
exactly
off the ground. So Brendan Cannon, by rights, he should have been gone to the sin bin as well.
But he allowed the mark. So,
well, we want consistency from referees. Same infringement, but obviously probably not quite as dangerous, of course.
No, well, he actually tackled him rather than just tipping him up. Kicked down over the head, beautifully weighted over the head of Muliaina, who's seen a lot of the early action. Spencer can't get away from Flatley. Major, cool head of Aaron Major. Big punt down towards Matt Burke, and Burke can only take it over the touchline.
A lot better kick from the All Blacks. Good kick from Major. Dougie Howlett had the time to get him behind and chase that one and force Burke over the sideline. A lot better kick.
I think it's another option too there, Bull. I mean, a bit more room and a bit more time for Major. He was under no pressure. They hung off him and he had a great kick in and a good 40 metres advantage for the All Blacks.
One of the benefits, AJ, of having a second 5'8" with an established boot.
Yeah, too right, and I think he used that to the advantage. I think more of that as the game progresses.
Another one against the throw. Starting to pluck them off now. Gregan to Degiri. Degiri sticking back in field. Flatley. Larkham. Nice position from Muliaina. Scragged down by George Smith. The tackle midway 22 and halfway in Wallaby territory. Marshall right for Major, gets nicely through. Major has support from Doug Howlett. Howlett with the line open. Doug Howlett under the bin.
Aaron Major, superb.
Well, he's great on that step, isn't he, Major? Like he showed last week in setting up Dougie Howlett again.
Well, he's been involved in both of the All Black tries. Great clean out here. And Major goes to the line, goes through the grab. He spotted a mismatch on Noriega, and Dougie Howlett, as he does so well, always on hand to take the pass. And around the Wallaby captain, Gregan. Under the sticks.
Just watch Major. Great. Look at the fend. Look what a fend does. Noriega didn't stand a chance. And Dougie Howlett, look, just straight around George Gregan. Tremendous speed under the sticks. What a finisher.
Spencer with the conversion.
I was just thinking just prior to that try being scored, that maybe that the All Black ball coming back from those rucks was a little bit slow. But that time it was bang on. And Major just getting that impetus and getting over the advantage line. And using that great fend of his.
Is Wendell Saylor. He must be due to come back on shortly.
Well, they had to take that opportunity against 14 men. Aaron Major during the week talked about one of his boyhood heroes, old teammate of AJ Wett and Warwick Taylor. And he certainly brings a cool head to the All Black midfield like Warwick Taylor did in that team that won an '87 World Cup. Maybe it's a good omen. Maialamu.
He's been busy once again, involved in everything. Just needs to sharpen up the line-outs.
McCaw and the tackle of War. Bit of space out here again for Umaga. Muliaina coming inside. Rokethoko in space. They won't get him. He will set a record. 2 tries in 4 tests in a row. That is a new All Black record. Nobody has ever achieved that.
Well, that was great work by Tana Umaga. He probably had the most space he's probably had all year in the test matches. And look what he did.
Great pass from Carlos Spencer, just missing out a man. Look at that, Muliaina just drew on the defender, setting up Joe Rokethoko, just backs himself all the way. Wonderful, wonderful All Black try.
Look at this work of Muliaina. Look at him, under pressure, just gets it away. And Joe Rokethoko and De Kerry made huge ground on him, though. He was well back initially, made a great fist of it, not quite enough, though. And Joe Rokethoko in the corner, great try.
Well, you should have heard the crowd down here, fellas. The stadium roof was nearly lifted off when he dotted down in the corner. 2 quick tries. This is a confident All Black side. And interesting to note, there are some cracks in the defence here of the Wallabies, being noted for their very physical defence midfield. They are falling off tackles, giving space to our midfielders and setting up our wingers. And isn't it great to see wingers scoring classic tries in the corner?
Well, nobody has ever scored 2 tries or more in 4 tests in a row for the All Blacks until now. 14 men has been exploited by the All Blacks, scoring 2 tries, and Spencer looking to convert this try from wide out on the left wing side. Hasn't turned it in. It remains a bit of a chink in the All Black armour.
The converted attempt from Carlos Spencer was unsuccessful. Scoring match, New Zealand 20, Australia 8.
It's great that the All Blacks have exploited the Wallabies when they're down to 14, something we didn't do against England when they were down to 13.
Well, on that occasion, England played with the All Blacks when they were down to 13 men.
I'd suggest the All Black team's come a long way since that game.
Lost forward. And the Wallabies have it. Larkham. Rogers. Across to Sailor, back into the action. Wendell Sailor looks to straighten it. This Wallaby side don't expect them to light out, and they have numbers to the right. Larkham flatly comes out on the All Black side. Lost forward by the Wallabies.
Well, that was a big tackle by Tana Umaga. Ball and all saved the day for the All Blacks.
He just went in hard, didn't he? Totally committed.
Flatley was on his way.
And broke down the Wallaby momentum. Look at this. Tana Umaga, fantastic tackle. Just a little knock on in there from Larkham.
Created by Chris Jack. He's getting his hand in.
But again, the All Blacks are under pressure. A clean kick-off there. Take the ball, secure it, keep your composure, get down the other end before half-time. Make no mistakes.
Pressure on the All Black scrum. Collins secures it in the van at number 8. Larkham up very flat on Major. War tries to work this one away. Not releasing. There's the call. Now, I wonder if they'll go for the penalty this time through Matt Burke, or will they take the touchline and look to get the drive on?
The ball was out that time.
Only 1 minute, just under 2 minutes to go.
There's War once again on his feet. Has his hands on the ball, and Major too slow to release. We've really got to take some evasive action against War. Got to get in there quickly and blow him out of the way. He's been given too much time and latitude in those breakdown situations.
Well, Matt Burke will have the chance to nail 3 points as we close in on half-time here. Wendell Sailor.
Didn't he inject himself straight back into the game? I suppose you would. You'd be pretty fired up sitting watching your team get 2 tries scored against you while you've been sent off the field.
He's had 10 in the bin exactly while he was gone. 12 points were added. to the All Blacks score. It's Matt Burke playing his 70th Test match. What an achievement. And he comes and he slots the penalty down by Dick Burke, as we've come pretty used to. Burke, penalty, 20 points to 11 in favour of the All Blacks.
We go on to the vote lobbies by Matthew Burke. That makes the score 20 points to 11.
Burke has scored all the points so far tonight for the Wallabies. 2 penalties and a try. Try very early on in the game. Since then, though, the All Blacks have scored 3 tries. 2 to Rokethoko, 1 to Howlett. Rogers with a huge punt. Howlett has the quick one. Field to Spencer. Muliaina. Smith into Rokethoko. Pumped on to Ali Williams from Spencer. Taken down by David Giffen. Advantage with the All Blacks as Marshall takes it forward 3 or 4 metres. Thorne, Major, cuts it back across to Spencer. Spencer, Howlett, try to come inside to Geary, does so, Doug Howlett. Spencer, Mealamu.
Referee's playing advantage again.
Yeah, it's advantage, just rocks and rolls on, and the All Blacks will get a penalty.
Wallabies offside.
So Spencer will look to take the margin back out to 12 points. Right now, a 9-point margin, 20 points to 11.
Well, the All Blacks could have easily kicked it out there and gone to half-time, but they've gone the full 40, and it could pay off for them.
Good payoff. Kick of 39 metres out in front for Carlos Spencer. Test match tonight for Spencer. And he comes. Let's rip. And the flags go up, so vital points before half-time as the players head back into the changing rooms for the half-time break. Carlos Spencer gets the extras, and the All Blacks lead as we take our half-time break here on 3 Sport by 23 points to 11.
Welcome back to 3 Sport, free for all. Sydney, Australia. There's the scoreboard. 23 to 11 in the turning point of that first half. The yellow card to Wendell Saylor when the All Blacks put 2 tries on the Wallabies while he was in the bin. So they go to the break, 12 points in front. You've got to say that penalty right on half-time to Carlos Spencer. Man, was that the bonus point or what? But will the 12 points be enough? In Sydney, it never seems like it's enough. Let's take a look at the story of the stats from the first half.
Yes, 23 points to 11. The All Blacks lead the Wallabies, pretty even in terms of territory and possession, but a key area in favour of the Wallabies actually has been the lineouts 1-8-7, and they plucked 3 of the All Black throws. That will be one area of concern that John Mitchell will want to sort out at half-time. Get that line out right, and of course there's been kicks in play there. Certainly Spencer peppering the Wallaby back 3. 23 points to 11. Let's have a look back on the first half with Frank Bunce.
The Australian tactic of playing 2 open side flankers worked wonderfully well, both involved in the tackle. Phil Raw getting the ball back there, George Smith clearing it, Stephen Larkin, Matt Rogers evades the tackle of Justin Marshall out wide, breaks that first line, Wendell Saylor in wonderful support. Tackle missed there by Joe Rokethoko. Elton Flatley looking around, charging Brendan Cannon. Falls the right way. presents the ball. George Gregan looking for the space. Totai Kepu, Matt Burke at a nice angle, and we're able to get our game going. Some nice little touches, flick-ons from Tanu Umaga. Here we go, freeing up our outsides and our pace. Carlos Spencer onto the ball. Aaron Major, nice loop by Carlos. And again, out to our pace man. Joe off the foot, around Wendell Sailor in the corner. We were helped in no small way by the sin bidding of Wendell Sailor for this misdemeanor. Yellow card. Here we go, up and over, 10 minutes in the bin. Justin Marshall clearing, Aaron Major bursting through. Some tight forward defence there. Ever-present Doug Howlett around George Gregan, then under the post. And again, clearance, Carlos Spencer, long pass. Nice run by Tana. Mills Molien, who's having a wonderful game under pressure, pass away to the speed. Great sight to see down the sideline. Stands up Lottie Tukiri in the corner. It's exactly where we're winning it, the pace on the outsides.
So plenty of hard work ahead in the next 40 minutes. Plenty of atmosphere here in the crowd. Lots of go Wallabies, lots of silver ferns, fantastic stuff. Perhaps it could be easier sitting at home with your chance to watch and win with Ford on 3.
Join Fords in the All Blacks Centennial celebrations. Go in the draw to win the All Blacks Centennial XR6 Ford Falcon. Decide the greatest All Black moment. Vote 1, the 24 Invincible side. 2, the 56 All Blacks versus Springboks. 3, the 87 World Cup victory. Or 4, the 96 Series victory in South Africa. Text 3334 or phone 0900 33333 with your choice to enter. Text costs 99 cents. Watch the All Blacks on 3 to see if you're a winner. Part of New Zealand for 100 years. Join the celebration.
Can John Mitchell's men do it? 23-11, that's the half-time score. Oh, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to those last 10 minutes to see if the boys can hang on. Stick around, we'll be back with the second half right after this on 3.
Welcome back. George Gregan leads out the Wallabies, who certainly have the job in front of them in the second 40. 23-11, they trail. Conceded 2 tries when Wendell Sailor was in the sin bin, naughty boy. Phil Ward, open side, he's certainly been in the thick of the action. 3 tries to 1 at the moment. And Spencer, who nailed those 3 extra points right on the stroke of half-time.
Oh, so technical these days.
23 points to 11. Spencer waiting to get the second half underway. Such a commanding figure, Carlos Spencer. Maybe the fact that his goal kicking isn't that wonderful, maybe it's an evil that the All Blacks will have to learn to live with, because he's just such a good player. And really, it would be very tough on Mills Muliaina to have him left out of the side if we were to bring in a kicker like Blair or perhaps McDonald. As Spencer gets things underway, 23-11. Vickerman. Matt Burke. Prodigious punt.
Well, have the All Blacks sorted out their line-out problems at half-time? About to find out. It's quite hard to work out why they're having problems, whether it's a breakdown in communication between the call and Kevin Miolomu. It's hard to tell, but it's got to be sorted out.
Well, both line-outs at times have lost their throw-ins.
Against the throw, 3.
Yeah, but the Wallabies are certainly ahead on the ledger, aren't they?
Another one. Another one. 4 against the throw now. Larkham. Rogers. The tackle of Major. Back for Larkham. Beautiful position, Mills Muliaina. Passes back to Spencer inside the 22. Down to Larkham, who reads it nicely. Marshall. Muliaina can't get away from Larkham.
He still knocked over Sailor, didn't he?
Well, he didn't have any other option. He had to go into the confrontational area. Referee called it off quickly because there was no way the ball was going to come out of there.
But why he's so good Miliaina, he's so big and strong. And look at, he just takes it up like a flanker almost, and that's what makes him so good at coming from the back and taking it up.
I bet Wendell Saylor's glad they called off early. He might have had a few tag marks on him.
Back for Spencer. There's kick though down the throat of Burke, just outside the 22. Matt Burke brings it back. Pretty flat sort of punt down here for Miliaina again. Perhaps a chance for Jerry Collins to get the legs pumping. Good chasing though by Burke. Jack. Chris Jack gets away from Gregan, up and over halfway. The All Blacks lead the Wallabies by 23 points to 11.
That was a great run by Chris Jack.
He's been a real find and open play, hasn't he, Kirky?
Well,
likes a bit of space.
Well, he's stepping and he's fending and gets that go forward. He's really on fire.
He's very athletic, isn't he?
Had a great game last week against the Box.
The All Blacks did well to get this ball back, because for a minute it looked like we were going to get isolated. We were a little bit slow to get there, but when we got there, we hit it at speed and drove in hard.
For their outstanding contributions.
I think this goes to show you, Paul, it was quick phase ball. That was the quicker second phase ball. Lots of room there for Marshall out to Spencer, and he had a lot more room to move. That's the secret, quick turnover ball.
Well, AJ, that was something, of course, we go back to that first test against England. On that occasion, had plenty of ball, but it was all a little bit slow.
Very slow and untidy.
The pace now has really stepped up, and you can see the difference. We can see the difference on the scoreboard. 23 points to 11, 3 tries to 1 as the All Blacks rock and roll inside the 22 of the Wallabies. Spencer, Major, Rokithoko from the left out to the right. Miliaina. McCaw drives in on him, but once again, as Ian Kirkpatrick has made note of, Miliaina is so strong. He just retains that possession when he gets into tight situations. And the All Blacks get a penalty. This should be a pretty straightforward 3 points in the offing.
Very steady.
Well, this will be the start of the second half that the All Blacks would want if Carlos Spencer can get this one over.
Well, there's the culprit, Phil Waugh. He's done a pretty good job tonight. On that occasion, deemed to be illegal play. And wasn't it, we mentioned the All Blacks line out not going well. Let's mention that great take that Chris Jack just took in the previous line out. That's what they need to do, just get their confidence up, get a few drives going, bring the Wallabies in and march it forward.
Well, it might be predictable, but it's money ball, isn't it? I mean, if we can get it,
it's all about keeping it simple, isn't it, Kirky?
Doesn't matter. Exactly.
Go for the money ball. If something's working, why go away from that? Stick with it.
And it was vital ball too, Bill, because just prior to that, 4 balls not going to its marker. And just before half-time, I noticed the body language of Kevin Mialama. His head was down. He knew he was making the errors. The timing wasn't there. He was feeling the pressure. So vital he got it right. And let's hope that lifts his confidence. And as I say, he gets the ball right on the mark.
In comes Spencer. Slots the first points of the second half. Another Carlos Spencer penalty. The All Blacks increase their lead to 15 points, 26-11.
See a change starting here already. Number 17, Ben Darwin.
So Darwin on for Noriega. The general comes off.
Number 17, Ben Darwin.
Well, the All Blacks can't forget about those set pieces. They've got to be really positive there just to keep the pressure on the Wallabies.
And to Ali Williams, Greg Somerville supporting him. Marshall back for Spencer. It's an exciting brand of rugby we've seen for the All Blacks from last week against the Springboks to this week. As Saylor throws the pass across to Takiri, who gets upended by Umaga. The Wallabies retain the possession. Saylor into Collins.
You won't be getting away from Jerry Collins.
A couple of the big men come together. Larkham. This is sort of the tactic that they employed late in the stages of last year's game here when they came back into it. Kefu. Back for Bill Young. Gregan. Larkham. Gregan on the double around, and nobody helped the take the pass and into touch.
Resulted in just pressure from the All Blacks defence.
It was quite nicely worked, but nobody on the end of it.
I think it's fair to say George Gregan's not too impressed with his pass there. Yes, the roll of the eyelids say it all, really.
Not a happy chappy. Untidy ball down here for Marshall. Pass to nobody, blind pass. There's that cool hit again in the form of Aaron Major back to save the day.
Well, sometimes those passes come off, sometimes they don't.
Oh, we had Aaron Major in the right spot. That very handy left boot of his.
Your ticket to tonight's match includes a copy of the Sunday Telegram. Don't forget to collect your copy as you leave the stadium this evening.
Stay out. Whoa. Stay there.
Cannon with the throw.
Wait.
Regan flatly. Kefu. Spencer makes the tackle. A little bit of help from Jerry Collins. Larkham. Matt Burke taken down by the two props. The Bruce brothers, Somerville and Hewitt. Crusader workhorses. What a tackle from Mayalamu on George Smith. Riley Williams comes through and knocks it on. Might have been a forward pass.
And we haven't mentioned George Smith's name a lot tonight, Kirky. Is that because he's playing blindside flank and been a lot more involved in the tight play?
Well, I don't know. Certainly War's probably outshone him as far as being dominant, but really it's just the All Black pressure putting on the Aussies, and they just got nowhere to go.
Darwin going down.
Smith this time eyes a bit of a gap, flicks it back inside to Sailor. Well, that almost came off big time. Knock forward, no, play on, says referee Spreadbury. Larkham flatly to Takiri, comes back inside. Good quick ball here for Gregan. Larkham. Rogers slips on a fence but passes it straight to Doug Howland, and numbers back out to the left. Jack onto the left foot. Perfectly weighted kick. Rocafoko just steams around the outside. Inch perfect from the big man.
It was a great kick, but you question it though. Almost there was an overlap almost of probably 2 to 3. 3 on 2 rather.
I think if we look back at the replay, we might have seen Dave Hewitt on the outside of Jack. Didn't have the paceman here. There's Dave Hewitt. Joe Rocafoko was there. But what a wonderful kick.
Well, it's a great kick as it turned out.
This is where we really need to apply some pressure in the line out.
Well, this is obviously the place where the All Blacks will try and contest it.
They go way downtown and claim it, the Wallabies. Larkham. Down to Rocafoko. Spencer. You always get the feeling something's on when Spencer's involved. Muliaina turns it back inside. Umaga gets a try at his 50th.
Couple of great passes. Look at the width from these two passes. Just about took the ball right across the other side of the field. Muliaina backing himself, throws the pass inside, and Tana Rumanga, he's unstoppable from there.
Well, who needs a goal kicker when you can score tries like this?
Well, here's Muliaina again. Look at this pass back into Tana Rumanga, and he just steps to the left. Look at that. Beats War and over. What a try.
And the jubilation on the face of Tana Rumanga says it all.
27th test try for Tana Rumanga. Not a bad strike rate in 50 tests.
Tana Umagan's probably had more room to move tonight than he has all year, and that's including the test leading up to the Tri-Nations, and it just shows you what he can do with a bit of space, and he can steps, and he's so strong in the step as well.
Just those two passes, though, Kirky. They took the ball right across to the other side of the field, from one side to the other, and just opened up, didn't it? Brilliant work.
So Spencer looking to convert the try scored by Tana Rumanga. The flags go up. Good kick from Carlos Spencer. A happy All Black bench with a 22-point margin, 33 points to 11. 33 points to 11. Eddie Jones starts to ring the changes. Chris Latham on for Matt Burke. Major to Spencer.
Well, the All Blacks had a 24-point lead here in 2000, didn't they, in the first half, and the Aussies came back. Can they come back tonight?
Well, there's a time plenty on the clock, 28 odd minutes. And they got the fire in the belly.
Good work from the All Black line out as Major takes it on. Carlos Spencer. A little kick over the top.
Here's Latham.
Changes are ringing plenty on the sideline here. We see number 18, Nathan Sharp, warming up, ready to come on.
Latham well and truly out when he kicked that ball. But good to see the All Black line out, AJ, winning one against the Australian throw.
Oh, it's just confidence at the moment, Bill. They're on a high. They can feel it. They're smiling out there. They're really enjoying this. And here we see Carlos limping off the field. That's not a good sight. And obviously Carter's coming on to make the replacement.
Major going to first five.
Yeah, Major to first 5-8. Daniel Carter to second 5. Kefu takes it up. So Spencer, you've noticed him just sort of stretching that leg and arching his back quite a bit, so he hasn't been entirely comfortable for much of the match. Rogers. Matt Rogers. What a run by Matt Rogers. What a run. Marshall gives chase. A run of 40 metres. The defence can't go to sleep when you've got guys like Rogers in the Wallaby side. Larkham. Flatley. Tackled by Carter. Crowds don't like that. The young replacement. Advantage plays on here through War. Still they have the advantage, the Wallabies. A side you can never write off. Gregan, Larkham. Larkham! Oh, that was close. And the penalty comes. Well, the call goes out for the yellow card. And the touch judge is in, so we probably might see one against Carter.
I don't think it was.
Well, have a look on the replay. There's nothing in it, but
really.
it's whether it's dangerous or not. It's like Cannon's one on Muliaina. It wasn't dangerous, but it was still probably illegal.
It's almost a sort of a jersey grab, isn't it? Well, around the net then. Bit of a Hollywood as well, was it?
Well, fair enough. I think he might have milked it a little bit, Kirky, but
trouble's coming, I think.
Yeah, he's called the skipper out. He's going to the bin.
He's hardly got warmed up.
Well, he's going to wipe the smile off Daniel Carter's face pretty quickly, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Well, he's a little... Well, no, gee, he looked as though he was going to his pocket.
Thank goodness he only had an itchy leg, Hamish. I thought he was reaching for the card.
No, he's probably going for the handkerchief, is he?
Well, he's suggesting he was playing pocket billiards ball.
No, he just, he was just teasing us, I think.
He was. I think he just said, next time you do that again, fella, you're going to go in the bin.
Oh, that's a good call, though, AJ. There was nothing too malicious about the tackle, was there?
No, I've been very impressed with this referee. He's played it, he's seen it, he's tried to let the game flow. It's been very entertaining. And here we see number 18, Sharp, coming on for number 5, Vickerman.
Gregan, Kefu, McCaw, safe in the tackle. Gregan again, though. Larkham, Rogers.
Let go, let go!
Well, they've got to watch Rogers.
They watch him pretty well, Kirky. They wrap him right up and he can't free the ball.
And look at that man down the bottom, Tana Umaga, who's made some fantastic tackles tonight in his 50th test. But Matt Rogers, hasn't he adjusted to rugby so well? He's been a real success story, coming from league to rugby.
Well, he's such a good runner, Bull, isn't he? I mean, he has adapted very, very quickly, and he's been outstanding.
All Blacks kick it way downtown to Larkham. Collins. Here's Takiri. Gregan to Latham. Taken away by Jack. Held by the hand by Latham.
That pass looked forward from Gregan.
Hewitt.
Hand down, go, run away too. It's advantage over.
Marshall to Carter. Carter. Dan Carter. He's going to go all the way. They hardly laid a hand on him, the young fella.
Well, what a try. Just come on. Almost went to the bin. And now he's got a 5-pointer.
I don't think he could believe his luck, Kirky.
They just hung off him.
It all came here. Chris Jack got the loose ball off Latham. Good stuff from Jack once again. But Justin Marshall just timing his pass beautifully. Just waited. And Carter just ran and ran and ran. It just opened up for him, didn't it? And he's got the good pace off the mark. Just backs himself. He's looking around here for support. Realizes he doesn't need it. Hey, fellas, I'll do this on my own, and away he goes.
You look on Rogers' face, he went inside him. And straight over, what a try.
You got 40 seconds.
How long's he been on? About a minute?
A little bit longer.
He's been involved in the action.
But you mentioned Marshall. You would probably thought he was going to be looking like he was going to be a bit slow, and he just drifted out, sucked him in, and what a beautiful pass. That set Carter off on a wonderful run. Inside Matt Rogers.
Carter looking to convert his own try. Just pushes it to the left, off the upright, in fact. It wasn't so far away after all.
Well, the body language of the South Australia side, the heads were down. There was some stern talk in there from Gregan. But look, this game is on its way out. They know they're on the end here of a big old thrashing, and my word, isn't it great to see?
Not over yet, AJ.
Tell you what, Kirky, they lose it now. You've got to be joking.
Huge proportions. Marshall. Back it comes to Spencer. No, sorry, to Major now at first 5-8. A lot of talk about this being an option for the World Cup, Major and Carter. Despite the form we've seen from Carlos Spencer in general play, who's been quite superb.
Well, this is one of the benefits, Hamish, of having guys who can play in a couple of positions on your bench. Just fit in anywhere. You know, you've got Aaron Major, who can play a couple of positions, as well as Carter. Now, handy men to have on the bench that you need them in your squad.
George Smith, the line-out option is Wendell Saylor. Saylor will go all the way here, but a great tackle in the end by Muliaina, but it can't prevent the try.
Well, he's received a bit of criticism from different quarters as Wendell Saylor since he's come over to rugby union, but I think he's played damn well for in Super 12 when he just started and with the Wallabies, and this try really just backs it up. Wendell just cutting through there, outside Joe Rogothoko, and Miliaina just goes over with him. Couldn't stop him though, had too much way on. Steps to the left.
He looked like he could have gone for the corner, Kirky.
Yep.
Saw Muliaina coming, thought, right, I'm going to try and go over the top of you. Likes the contain, but as you say, had the way on, had the momentum, and away he went.
Well, incredibly, still a fair old chunk of time to go in this game, dare I suggest.
Interesting to note, Hamish, that George Smith took that line out. The All Blacks wouldn't have been expecting that, so a bit of variation there from the Wallabies.
Well, they were using him in training, weren't they, George Smith? I mean, it was not the classical jumpers, but it's all about lifting, isn't it?
All Blacks look like they want to charge there early. So referee Tony Spreadbury says get back to the line. Scud off the boot there from Flatley.
Well, Case Muse here warming up on the bench. Looks like Greg Somerville coming off. Case Muse coming on.
Well, that early charge obviously put him off, didn't it? Flatley was put off for that.
Number 3, Greg Somerville is leaving the field. His place has been taken by number 17, Casey Muse.
Just an update from Doc Mayhew in regards to Carlos Spencer. Just a slight tightening of the groin as a precaution. He's come off, but apart from that, he's okay.
Kefu back for Larkham. You just wonder about this Wallaby side, whether the miles on 1 or 2 clocks might be getting just a little bit too high. Certainly the pace doesn't seem to be there compared to the All Blacks.
Well, I think they're a bit unsettled at the moment, Hamish. They're not certain of their top 15. They've still got a couple of injury problems, and they're trying to find their form team, I think. And of course, they're going to be on the end possibly here of 3 defeats in a row, so a real confidence problem for them to add to the injury and other problems they have.
A tidy line out. Coming away with it, Kefu. Sharp in play here. This is Saylor, the try scorer. Get away, tackled by Case Muse. Smith, Collins and Hewitt, the tacklers. Flatley, War. Larkham. George Smith starting to really get himself involved at the moment as Gregan goes off on a bit of a probing run. Oh, loses it for penalty.
The All Blacks want to be careful here. The Aussies are just starting to come back into it, getting a bit of continuity.
Case Muse doing a good job here in the tackle on Georgie Smith, but the infringement had already taken place. All Black players going in over the top. So the Wallabies drill it to the corner and they'll go for the line out.
We see Brad Thorne here. He's ready to come on. Look for another replacement in the All Black forwards.
Thorne going on for Ali Williams.
So Brad Thorne on. The last time he played at Stadium Australia was in the 2000 NRL Grand Final for the Broncos against the Roosters. Now he's out there in an All Black jersey. Man who hails from down South Otago way. Here we go. Larkham, Latham, stepping, jinking runner. Flatley, War, Smith. Support from Brendan Cannon. Back to the blind side for Gregan. Another penalty goes the way of the Wallabies, who look a little bit bereft of ideas.
That's due to some very good All Black defence. The communication on D for the All Blacks has been outstanding. They're just standing in a line, marking in very closely, and they're just shutting the Wallabies down. And as you say, that doesn't look like they've got a plan B there, Hamish.
You don't see George Gregan kicking that much, do you?
No,
He's usually running, especially on attack like that.
He knew there was an infringement, though, Kirky, and he was probably just, you know, just a bit of a speculator.
Kefu at the front. Larkham flat to the line to Flatley. Gregan. Kefu again. They stop him in his tracks.
They've defended well against Kefu tonight. He's done a bit of damage in the past.
The kick in behind for Howlett to chase back to Kiri coming through. Drop out from the 22.
And the All Blacks started putting those big hits in like that against the box in that second half last Saturday.
The thing is, Kirky, they're not waiting for the Australians to come to them. They're going forward and meeting them.
Yep.
Aggressive tackling.
Howlett just had too much pace there for the chasing to Kiri. Larkham.
No way.
The All Blacks being starved of possession at the moment. The Wallabies got hold of it and they're not giving it up too easy.
Taken on by Nathan Sharp. War. Cregan.
The All Blacks is holding their defensive line.
Kepu, Cregan, George Cregan up to the 22 of the tackle of McCaw. Kepu will play halfback. A big bullocky halfback. Makes a metre or two. Larkham wide to Rogers. Rogers. Good tackle on him. I think it was Carter again. This is Larkham. Stephen Larkham goes through. There's 7 or 8 metres out. They lose it forward, the Wallabies. Turnover ball. Carter way downtown to Latham. It was a dangerous runner from the back, but well marked up by Carter. Here it is for War to Keary. Blooded to Keary. Never say die attitude from the Wallabies. It's to be commended. But pouring it over the top.
And hanging on, that was good pressure from the All Blacks. They really needed to do that.
Great composure from the All Blacks, wasn't it, AJ? Their communication, and they've really got great confidence in each other on defence.
No, I think Kirky summed it up, Paul. I think the Aussies have lost a wee bit of pattern, bit of composure on how to break this All Black defence. It's been on the money most of tonight. A bit of pressure from them, going across field, and there we see a bit isolated, great tackle in defence, and of course he held on to a penalty to the All Blacks.
I think in those a couple of mauls back from there, they really lack numbers too, the Aussies.
Here we see Big Owen.
38 points to 16 as Cannon goes off. Let's have a look at the performance of the fullbacks with match analyst Frank Bunce.
The fullbacks, unfortunately for Matt Burke, in his time on the field, this was about as good as he's got. Being subbed here, Chris Latham comes on. Can he do any better? Not straight away. We see him giving the ball away to Chris Jack, which eventually led to a try. He has to be content just taking the ball up, not making much ground at all, returning a kick. Defence is waiting for him, going nowhere. To be fair, though, a great moment for him on defence. Cuts Doug Howlett down as he went for the corner and saved a try for a little bit. On the other hand, Muls Muliaina, All Black fullback, having a great game here. He evades all the tacklers, pops the pass away. Here we see him running to the outside of Matt Rogers, puts the fend up, pops a beautiful pass to Tana and try. There we see catch, flick, pass, Joe Rokothoko. What contrast.
And for Australia, Brendan Cannon is going to send in place. Sorry, my apologies.
So Owen Finnegan, the man with the huge melon, into the action.
Watch your numbers go.
Running out of throws with the dice, though, the Wallabies.
Go right, lad. Leave it, lad. Right there, please.
Jack, Mealamu, Major, Collins. Ruben Thorne. Obstruction there from the All Blacks.
Yeah, I think the ref was dead right.
It's a shame because that ball presentation from Jerry Collins was first class. Yeah, just bodies in front there of Ruben Thorne.
I guess one of the strengths tonight, Paul, has been that clear second phase ball, hasn't it? It's been consistent, it's been good. Marshall's been under no pressure, and we've just seen the quality of that back line when it does get decent ball.
Down the back here, Marty Holler. That was McCaw. Holland's getting ahead of himself here as we go down the right side through Howlett. Doug Howlett just scragged there.
That was well done by Latham. You might have thought that Doug Howlett might have gone round it, but man, he showed some gas then.
Yeah, Dougie Howlett, he had a bit of space here, but Latham very composed, just showed him the sideline and backed himself. He's a quick player also. Great tackle. Try-saving tackle from Latham.
Well, I think the fact that he went high probably did the damage. If he'd have gone low, he just might have slipped away from him.
So flatly off, Steve Kefu into the action.
Stay there. Don't worry about it. Relax.
danger. Carter. Rakatoko again. The juggernaut just continues on and on and on. 3 for Big Joe.
Well, he's loving this, Joe Rakatoko, isn't he? And why not? Look at that.
Chris Jack just rips the ball out of Sharp's hands. That created the turnover. And the inside's doing the good work again, getting the ball quickly to Joe, who does the finishing job.
Yeah, Muliaina, that brilliant draw and pass, takes the tackle, takes the knock and just lays it on.
We've got to give a lot of credit to the inside backs and the passing they're doing, getting the ball out to the wingers. Look at that. Commits Sailor, unloads the ball beautifully to Rokethoko.
There was great transfer by Mills Muliaina, right here. Sailor right on him.
10 tests and just 10 tries in just 5 test matches. 10 of those have come in 4 tests.
Well, the changes are coming thick and fast here for the All Blacks now. We see Hammett coming on for Mialamu, and Ralph is coming on now for Muliaina. Has that Muliaina had a great game tonight?
He's been absolutely superb at fullback. Carter from the sideline just pushes it to the left.
Is that breeze quite strong still out there, AJ, or is it?
No, I think everything's just died down. There is a wee bit of breeze up top there, but it's not affecting the play tonight. These guys are on a high. They're enjoying it. Everything's coming off. And we even see Holler coming on now, so that about clears the bench for the All Blacks.
43 points. That equals the most points ever scored by the All Blacks against the Wallabies. Sailor. Crunching All Black defence. Wherever you may be, sitting, watching, standing.
Look at that offensive tackling, driving the Australians back.
It's beautiful to watch. Bending your elbow, wherever you are, you will be loving this free-for-all on 3 Sport. 43-16, and still 10 minutes to come. Just sit and enjoy it.
Well, there was a lot of talk last week, Hamish, that the South Africans were weak, and that's the only reason the All Blacks smashed them. Well, I think what we're seeing is how strong this All Black team is at the moment. They're on a real roll, and they're just getting better and better.
62,000 here at the stadium.
Okay, thank you, let's go.
Play on, says referee Spreadbury.
She's all over.
Well, the body language is not great from the Wallabies. They know they've been well and truly beaten.
Well and truly.
It's probably quite an understatement, isn't it? It's a bit of a thrashing at this stage.
Tell you what's nice to see is the medical staff and the reserves, the management smiling here. It's been a long time since we've seen that here in Australia.
Well, I wonder if we get to see a rare shot of a smile from maybe John Mitchell.
I'm sure he'll be smiling at the press conference, Hamish.
What a psychological blow for the projected semi-final here for the Webb Ellis Trophy, the World Cup in November. But the Wallabies aren't done yet. Steve Kefu. Larkham to Geary.
No, it's not.
That time it's Marty Holler involved. Sailor.
Look at the All Black. Look at the All Black numbers just getting there en masse.
You did right, Bill. Just the pressure on that Australian attack. They just got nowhere to go. Numbers there.
Another job well done, Carlos Spencer. The last time the All Blacks were a commanding figure in the Tri-Nations, the Bledisloe Cup in World Rugby, he was the number 10. He is again.
It's been 5 years since we've had the Bledisloe Cup.
1997.
Of course, this is only halfway there. We've got to win the return match in New Zealand, of course, but it's a great start.
Long time between Jack on the rocks, big ball.
When we lost it in 1998, Justin Marshall was involved in that year. He's the only player still in the team today.
Well, I think that possibly sums up the Wallaby night a little bit there. Finnegan trying to work it forward. This is Kefu, Gregan. But to their full credit, they're far from giving up as Latham injects himself at pace.
Look at that tackling.
I think that was Holler. And look at that. Collins over the top, not quite sure who was underneath.
Don't see Owen Finnegan get munched like that very often.
Would have surprised me if it... Well, they work it forward again. Umaga, another big hit.
They're just going in, boots and all, aren't they? They're all back defences.
Well, all the talk during the week about the World Cup winning bonus payment said to have overshadowed this. Perhaps they should have more debates in the build-up to test matches as if this is how they respond. Cannon comes back out for Adam Freya.
Number 2, Brendan Cannon, return to the blood bin.
Off you go. Your ball.
Flight control, Cannon, fly to the field.
That's fine, yeah. Wait. That's fine, no problem. Traction, hold, engage.
A particular debate, the World Cup winning bonus, I said I'll stand my ground on this one despite some criticism. The players have the upper hand, and they certainly appear to tonight there as we look through the possession. Certainly with the Wallabies. Oh, look at that. Another monster scrum.
What a scrum.
Oh, Bull, you'd love that.
Well, a bit like against South Africa last week as the game's got on. There hasn't been a lot of scrums in this game, but really dishing it to the Aussies. Dave Hewitt on this side, just getting under Darwin and peeling him back.
Probably just when the Australians probably weren't expecting it.
Well, they're just on a high, Kirky. Everything is just falling into place for the All Blacks. They've worked hard during this game, and now they're reaping the rewards. It's a rock-solid scrum. Excellent work.
Latham back on his 10-metre line, 43 points to 16. Reminiscent of that huge win at Athletic Park back in 1996. Larkham to Geary. Slips apart. This is Rogers, and Rogers will get the try. Well, something out of nothing. Well, Matt Rogers. A bit of a blot on the copybook.
That sums up his class.
Well, he's been the standout figure in this Wallaby team tonight. He's created opportunities. To Carey here, I don't know how he slipped this pass away. As he's going down, just pops it up. And Rogers...
Stood up, Howland.
Yeah, just backs himself. Goes all the way. To Carey, though, good vision, wasn't it? Rogers obviously calling to him on the outside. And Dougie Howlett, he's a great defender normally, but Rogers, he's a wonderfully balanced player.
I think Dougie Howlett knew straight away that he was in deep trouble when Rogers sort of just drifted outside him. He was gone. And maybe he's pulled a muscle in the process of trying to stop him too. As he gets attention down there, Doug Howlett.
Well, they're going to have to move him because they want to kick the conversion, so...
Maybe it's not a hamstring.
I think it looks like he's got some cramp. When he went to the right, when Rogers went round him, Kirky, he seemed to pull up pretty quickly. So whether he got the cramp, and I'm not saying it's an excuse or not, but let's hope it's not too serious.
Apologies. Tonight's attendance, of course, basically a capacity crowd here, so around about 82,000.
That could have been the reason why he didn't really have that gas on Rogers.
So Doug Howlett comes to the sideline, just stretching out the calf muscle, is it here? Rogers. A little bit of respectability creeping into the Wallaby score. Unfortunately, the kicking is well astray, and it's been a problem. So 43 points to 21.
Steve Devine comes on the field for the All Blacks.
My man from up the track at Boggabree.
Well, Justin Marshall's still on there. He's come on.
Caleb Routh drops to fullback. Steve Devine onto the wing. Always better tell his family he played a test match on the wing against his country of birth. Collins, Holler, twisting, turning Marty Holler. As you would expect with Marty Holler, the ball comes back. Brad Thorne, Jack. Case Muse, very close now, only 2 metres out. Wide out here for Steve Devine. Maybe he thought all his Christmases were coming at once. First touch, Jack. Collins, he's done the hard graft tonight. That's what's been impressive about him. Muse. Stepping back inside. Major the try.
Well, initially that was never on, was it?
No, what's he called here? No, whistle's go.
He's awarded it, hasn't he?
Yes, he has awarded it.
Well-deserved try. Major's been involved in a lot of play and a lot of the try-scoring action. Look at this, the big stretch of the arm. There's about 4 Wallabies around him. He was in a circle surrounded by Wallabies. He just jinked and jived and knew where that try line was. The big stretch to finish it off.
Really, the Aussies had plenty of numbers there, but he just, as you say, Bull, just jinked left and right and just reached over right beside the post.
Yeah, he made a few of them look a bit flat-footed, Kirky. A couple of big forwards there.
And this will take it up to the 50.
Carter gets the conversion of his Crusader teammates' try. 50 points to 21. Referee Tony Spreadbury says that will do. Certainly that'll do if you're a Wallabies fan in terms of time over. And that will do if you are an All Blacks fan. Be elated, be ecstatic. 50 points to 21. Ian Kirkpatrick, a performance right out of the top drawer.
Exactly. Who would have thought this? We know the Aussies haven't gone that well. They've lost their last 2 previous games, and they came to this one hoping that something was going to happen, but the All Blacks didn't allow them to do it, and they just gave them a good old-fashioned hiding.
Nice moment there, Bull Allen, Reuben Thorne and Tana Umaga, probably as different as chalk and cheese, but All Black winning teammates, captain and vice-captain.
Well, great to see Reuben Thorne with a big smile on his face. He's come under a lot of criticism, but I noticed before the game he looked more focused than I've ever seen him. And he's really, him and his teammates tonight have played collectively well, and they've really put this Aussie bogey to bed.
Put him to bed, all right. Back home, go to bed and sleep well. 50 points to 21. The All Blacks beat the Wallabies.
Yes, can you believe it, New Zealand? A record win against Wales, a record win against the Springboks last week. And check that out. They're getting a rousing reception from all the black and silver fans here in Sydney tonight. A record win against Australia and in Sydney, and they brought up the half-century. There is a word that wraps it up: sensational. We'll take a short break. Back to continue with reaction on 3 Sport, free for all. Stay with us.
Did you go in with the confidence against the Australians tonight that you'd win by that score?
No, I mean, we prepared well all week, and we had confidence coming out of last week's result, but we certainly never dreamed we'd put 50 on them, and no, the guys are just really happy in there and pleased with the effort they put in.
What about the amount of space that seemed to be created out there, not only in the backs but in the forwards? You seem to be finding all sorts of holes and obviously taking advantage of that.
Yeah, that's the key. You know, once we've got a bit of quality position and a bit of go forward, then the space was there, and our backs got the pace to use it, and when they got there, they used it well, and the score just kept on mounting.
As John Mitchell has said, it's a progress, it's a journey, and I guess that's another step, but obviously a long way to go to secure this Tri-Nations and Bledisloe Cup series. Yeah, there is. I mean, there's plenty to work on. I mean, our line-out obviously didn't function so well tonight, and plenty of other areas that we can improve, so the guys are well aware of that, and they'll keep their feet on the ground, and you know, it's only the first 2 games this team want to go, and we're aware of that, so we'll just keep working hard. And Ruben thought himself, obviously, you was you're enjoying it, certainly out and about, ball in hand, and obviously leading from the front, tremendous game. Yeah, well, I mean, the team's playing really well, and you know, we're creating space for each other, and that's where I get my satisfaction of seeing the guys playing well together and enjoying themselves. Well, you certainly create a lot of satisfaction for New Zealanders tonight. Well done, and go enjoy yourself. Thanks very much. Cheers, AJ. Thank you.
Yes, more reaction with AJ Wetton talking to the All Blacks in just a moment, but let's wrap up the story of this record-breaking match in Sydney tonight with Hamish and the commentary team.
Yes, 50 points to 21 there. Territory even Stevens. The Wallabies had the lion's share of the possession there, 58%, but it didn't really matter at the end of the day. They certainly had a lot of possession to work with from the rucks and mauls. Against the throw there, they plucked to 5 of the All Black throws. The All Blacks missed 12 tackles, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, does it? 50 points to 21. Here's Frank Bunce.
While Australia were able to take the early lead, it didn't take long for the All Blacks to find their rhythm, notching up their second record win in consecutive weeks. The Blues backs that have thrilled us during Super 12 with their pace and their flair have taken the step up to test level and proven themselves. Now, I'll tell you what, if this is a preview of what we might expect in a semi-final in a few months' time, then I say that's all good. It's some wonderful contributions. Mills Muliaina, a player who probably hasn't had the respect he's deserved. He had a great one tonight. We see Tana Umaga over for the try off and Mills' pass. And contributions, fine contributions all around. Hard to find any weaknesses in a team that's playing with a lot of confidence. Dan Carter there off the reserve bench, huge contribution. Australia weren't going to just lie down though. Here we see league recruit Wendell Saylor break through, steps Rokotoko, and poof, over the top of Mills. And hasn't he done well in his transition to the Union game? Chris Jack stealing a line and off the Australian throw. Another great All Black move. Beautiful hands. Mills Muliaina, Joe back in the corner again. They relied a lot on their league recruits. We had Lottie Tukiri taking it up there, slipped a beautiful pass to Matt Rogers. And while the league recruits stood up to be counted, you got to wonder, there are too many Australians off the pace tonight. Great commitment from the All Black forwards here. And as I said before, a team playing with a lot of confidence, well aware of where everybody else is. Driving it up, keeping possession. Here we go. There's a lot of talk, a lot of communication. Chris Jack off Brad Thorne there, on to Case Muse. And hasn't he played well in the last few weeks? Here we go. Aaron Major stretches over for the try. And that makes for a lot of happy New Zealand fans. 10 tries in all we saw. 7 from the All Blacks, 3 from the Australians, and all by backs, might I add. Everybody happy. Hugs all round. Dan Carter, great contributor, and the fans.
Yes, all the former All Blacks and the 3 Sport commentary team tonight. Very, very happy. Reaction here in Aussie. They look like stunned mullets at the moment, but of course, as they say, you've just won the battle. The war continues. We'll take a break on 3 Sport. Back with more reaction right after this. 3 Sport free for all, wrapping it up from a cold Sydney night, but a fantastic Sydney night with that big win by the All Blacks. And let's go back under the sheds with AJ Wetton. He's got one of the hard-working guys right up front, Dave Hewitt.
Well, I guess, Dave, that smile says it all tonight.
Yeah, pretty happy with the win. Been here once before and come away with a loss, so it's nice to go away at the other end of the ledger this week.
Well, some great tries scored out wide, but you know, you've got to give credit to the boys up front. Those Fat Five, you certainly laid a great plate for them this evening.
Yeah, well, we were pretty happy with most of the game. Line-outs obviously weren't as good as we would have liked. Bit of work to do there, but scrum and clean out and that sort of thing, and support play was pretty good from all the boys, and that's one thing that we can take home and be proud with.
I guess with about 20 minutes to go, the writing was on the wall in some aspects, but the smiles and the enthusiasm in the side there, is another level the All Blacks can still go yet?
I think so. I think it's just small steps now. There'll be nothing big. It'll just be the little things that get changed and tweaked and that sort of thing from week to week, because Australians and the Africans will work on what we've done, and we've got to pull something else out of the hat now. But it'll just be a small thing, small changes here or there.
Well, a lot of credit to you guys tonight. You're going to enjoy yourselves, have a beer or two, and you can relax. You've got a week off.
Yeah, we have, which will be good. Then down to Dunedin. Yeah, the boys will have a couple of beers. Good to see the families and that sort of thing when we get home. So it'll be just nice to have a relaxation for a couple of days and then back into the fitness work.
Well, you go and enjoy yourself. Fantastic game.
Cheers, Alan. Thanks, mate.
Well done.
Isn't that amazing, New Zealand? I mean, they've just been on a record road trip and they're looking forward to getting back home. And as you can see here, Stadium Australia, Telstra Stadium tonight is cold and clear. It's never looked so good, actually, because there's no Aussies here. Well, there's not too many anyway. And if they were here, they'd be pretty quiet, I can tell you that. Yes, plenty of standout stars in tonight's game. I mean, you looked at Carlos Spencer's been named man of the match. Joe Rokothoko, those brace of tries, 3 tries for the Flying Fijian. And one of the other guys who really stood out tonight, both in the hard work up front, was Chris Jack. Perhaps he unleashed perhaps the most, educated left foot of the business tonight.
Well, Chris, you're tired. You seem as though you're a bit exhausted, but I'm sure you could go for another 20 minutes with that result.
Yeah, definitely, mate. The way the boys are playing, it's just unreal out there, eh? Some of the defence the boys are putting in is just outstanding. We just want to keep on getting up and hitting them, eh? Well, I could see the enjoyment out there this evening, but you know, the foundation again laid by those tight 5 and you tight forwards. You've got to take a lot of credit, not just in attack but also in defence. You see some big hits out there tonight. Yeah, we try and get out there and mix it up if we can. But the forwards played well. There's no doubt about that. But still a couple of things to work on in the line-up. But get it right, hopefully. Good to see. Also, you got the ball in hand lately. You seem to be running out there in the open like another winger, like a man possessed, one hand on the ball, and you're really enjoying it there, weren't you? Well, it's always fun when you see a little halfback in front of you, mate, as you know. Yeah. But I'll take the opportunities if we get a chance. Have a go. As you say, there's a wee bit of work to do in the line out there, maybe a bit of miscommunication. What was happening in that department? We're just a wee bit anxious, but we'll take some time over the next couple of weeks and get things sorted. Well, you go enjoy yourself, and congratulations on a fine one. Thank you, and thanks to New Zealand. Great support at home, mate. It's been fantastic. Well done. And let's hope that Chris Jack and all the boys from the All Blacks get a great welcome home. And, of course, they would have certainly enjoyed that last scrum when they absolutely annihilated the Australian pack. And great to hear they've still got their feet on the ground because they realise they've had a big win tonight, but they still haven't won anything so far. Right, what's coming up on 3 Sport? Don't forget, rally fans, stay with us for highlights from Rally Access. That's setting the scene for the Rally of Germany. And then we'll have highlights from day 1 and 2 later on this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, around about 5 o'clock on 3 Sport, followed by day 3 highlights, 11 o'clock on Monday night after Nightline. On 9:30 Thursday, Nate and Oscar and the team are back with Sports Hour. Sunday, August 3. That's next weekend. Highlights of Australia-South Africa, Game 4 in the Tri-Nations. That's at 5 o'clock. And the following weekend, we're down in Dunedin for the big battle against the Box. So the All Blacks tonight have got one hand on the Bledisloe Cup. August 16, back at Eden Park. They'll get a chance to get the second hand on it and bring it back to where it belongs. On behalf of the team at 3 Sport, I'm Clint Brown. I'm happy. You should be very happy. Enjoy the morning. As we said at the start of the day, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. See you later.